Hi, it's Stuart from People and Process Solutions. For those that don't know me, we People and Process Solutions are a headhunting and recruitment consultancy. We work into the life science market and we also work into the sustainability market as well. So today I wanted to talk about something that we do get involved in quite a bit, which is headhunting for relevant staff. So why are we going to headhunt rather than just recruit? Well, the truth is there is a big blur in the middle between what is headhunting and what is recruiting. But let's be a little bit more specific about it and talk specifically about headhunting. So generally, headhunting is for hard to find people. They are usually, not always, but usually more senior, where there are less people around in the marketplace who would necessarily fit the bill for the role. Recruitment, on the other hand, tends to be, these are general terms, but tends to be for more general positions. So think in terms of technical managers, sales managers, quality control people, the types of positions where you can go into the market, potentially advertise or ring and find specific people, and there are a lot more of them available because the skill sets available for those positions are wider. So there will tend to be more people applying if it was just a recruitment job than if it was a headhunting position. So let's talk about headhunting then. What do we actually do if it's a headhunting position? So if I, myself, or any other headhunter is going to find somebody for you, they're going to need some of these things. So candidate background is the first thing to talk about. So the candidate for your job that you are trying to fill, the person we're trying to find, is more than likely passive. So what's that mean, Stuart? Well, what that means is that they are probably not looking for a job. They are probably quite happy beavering away in the role that they have at the moment, getting on with their job, building their career, and not actively scouring the job pages every day thinking, I need a new job. So they are a passive candidate. That means that I can't just advertise a position and they will drop into my lap. I need to go and actually physically find them. That doesn't mean that I won't advertise a job. I normally advertise a job, even if it's a headhunting exercise, in the broadest terms, if it's commercially sensitive, so that I have something like a stakeholder position that I can refer people to in the first instance. But they are more than likely passive. They are probably a high achiever, more than likely a high achiever. And they probably, more than likely, have very specific skill sets as well. So we're looking for somebody who's a high achiever with a specific skill set, more than likely, if you're going to headhunt somebody rather than just recruit. They are usually earning more than average. So more than an average person for their age experience would be earning, would dictate whether this person was going to be a headhunting candidate or just a simple recruitment candidate for a role. So we're probably looking for a high achiever who is earning a little bit more with a specific skill set. They may more than likely work in a competitor's business already. So you might have somebody in mind even, and you want somebody to contact them, or it might be that your market is broad and you need us to go into the general market and look at the various people within various businesses that are competitors to yours and think, right, yeah, who potentially is a good fit for your business that would be the right high performing person. It might be an aligned market. It might be exactly your market. There's all sorts of reasons. But we're going to need a candidate. We're going to do candidate background. We're going to need that type of background. So how do we access that person? What we're going to need to do, basically, if we're going to headhunt that type of person, is we need to build I call it an avatar, not the film Avatar, but we need to build the avatar. What does this person look like? So that's the next part. What does the person look like that we are going to try to recruit? What's the previous experience? Who have they worked for? So these are answers that I would need to get from you as the client. Who have they worked for? Maybe. What types of company, if there's no specific names. What have they done? What position have they had in the broadest terms? And the types of roles that they've done. What career stage are they at? So if Is it somebody that's at the beginning of their career, maybe with 5 years experience doing a specific task? Or is it somebody that's much, much more experienced and say maybe got 10, 15 years experience? Maybe it's a managing director type level. Maybe you're looking for somebody that's been a managing director of an XYZ company with this many people. So we need to build this sort of, this map, this avatar of what the person is. What's the career stage? What are their current responsibilities? So are they working for a business that is 1 to 5 million, 1 to 2 million, 10 to 20 million, 20 to 50 million, 50 to where's it fit? Is it a 100 million pound company? What's the type of person? What are they in charge of? What are their responsibilities? Where does this person live? If you require or would like this person to actively be available in your offices, then they will probably be within a shooting distance of your office. We need to map out how many days they need to be in the office, and therefore we can draw a radius around your location. If it was Birmingham, for example, we can draw a radius around there, 50, 60, 70 miles, whatever it happens to be, and say, right, this person is now capable of coming in 3 days a week, and it's not going to become a bind for them because we want them to stay at the end of the day. So location. Personality traits and interests. What are their personality? They've got to fit. They have got to fit into the personality of your business. So your business will have a personality. You need to be very honest with yourself. What's the personality of this person look like? Are they uber technical type of personality, or are they a more of an outgoing type person? You know, is it somebody that that needs to have interest in various types of sport, for example, because your customer base relates to that? So you need to be quite honest, and the more detail we can put on it, the better, basically. And then the big one, of course, is what's the current salary and what's their package likely to be. So at the moment they're likely to be earning this, and we're going to be offering that. So that type of process, basically, to draw out a picture of what this person looks like in terms of their experience, their career stage, their current responsibilities, their location, what their personality might necessarily be like, and how much are they on, how much. It's all about how much, because remember, this person is passive. They're not out there scouring the market for a job. They're more than likely passive. So big one is the salary and the package. So yeah, once we've done that, we then need to look at the sales pitch. So if you're employing a recruiter or a headhunter like myself, I am effectively in sales, believe it or not, and it's a sales job. So we need to look at what is the sales pitch, and we've got to be brutal. The question that you need to ask yourself if you're looking for somebody like this is, why will this high performing person who is passive why will they want to join your business? What is it in your business that would make this role attractive to a high flyer or somebody who can get things done, or whatever reason it is that you're wanting this position? So what we need to talk about, you've been really honest with the person, we need to talk about the business. So what is your company's culture? What is the direction that your company in? Are you in a situation where you're trying to change things? Why is this person needed, basically? Then we need to think about what will their responsibilities and budget be. So when we talk about responsibilities, their target, if you like, we don't want the job description with 100 things on it that you will do this, you will do that, you will do that. No. That's not what we want. We're talking big picture here. We're wanting 3 or 4 of the main things that this person will be required to do. The big picture stuff there. We want somebody to change this to this. We want somebody to lead this team forward and create that. So the big picture, basically, and don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. The actual core things that if this person did this in their first year or 2 of tenure within the business, the things that they would do, if they did these things, you would be delighted with them and probably offering them a pay rise. The other thing is, realistically, how stable is the management structure that you have within your business? If you are churning senior level people or medium level people within the business all the time, That is a really bad situation. And frankly, we end up with a position of the price tag for the person needs to go up. Now, there's absolutely no point in hiding from this. If this is the situation, we need to get the writing out at the beginning and say, look, there has been a churn. We are trying to address it. We're trying to do something about it and get the story aligned, because in a sales pitch, the person, if we manage to recruit someone, we've hidden that from them, that's a really bad starting point, because they feel pretty disenfranchised when they join the company. So yeah, total honesty and blue sky thinking really about, is there a churn? Is there instability? If there's instability, the price tag will go up for the person, because why would they join it? Why would you join a company that is potentially slightly unstable? People do, but it's usually offset by remuneration or ego. Anyway, speaking of salary, if we're going to recruit somebody in the general market, we can say, oh yeah, it's a sales rep's job and it's worth £40,000 to £45,000 and blah, blah, blah. And it slots together in that way. When you're headhunting a high performing person, you realistically don't ask a headhunter of any description to try and headhunt a position that is below the market level. The two things just don't go together. They're not compatible. You're asking somebody to leave a job because, remember, this person's passive. You're asking somebody to leave a job for a job that necessarily isn't the best package, doesn't pay the best, maybe isn't the best stability, etc. So you need to get the package right. You need to get something that will attract and be comfortable. The other thing is be comfortable. We've all heard the stories of, oh, I joined this company, they promised me X, and when I got there, they couldn't deliver it, or they resented the fact that they were paying me X and tried to undermine me, not pay my bonuses, etc., etc. So you've got to be pretty honest with yourself. If we don't get it right at this point, we don't get the sales pitch right, don't get the avatar right, the person will not stay in the business. So you will effectively have paid the headhunter, because they'll probably stay for a few months, so you'll have to pay the headhunter. You'll have paid the headhunter, and the person will then leave a year or 18 months down the line, or less if you're unlucky, and they won't be happy. And then the other thing on the sales pitch is how quickly do you want to find somebody? Are you happy for it to, remember, this person is probably, if they're a high performer, probably on at least 3 months notice, sometimes on 6. How quickly are you looking to get somebody into the business? What you also got to do, we want to talk about this, trust the professional. Now, the professional would be the headhunter, and hopefully it would be me. If we do this type of exercise with a company, we never put 6, 7, 8, 10 CVs on the table of people. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We will only ever put 2 or 3 at the most CVs on the table that meet the criteria that have been set out, unless it is unbelievably fluky. So you're not going to get loads of CVs. You've got to trust what the recruiter does for you. It's hard to do that, I know, but try to work with one headhunter. There's nothing worse when you're a headhunter or a recruiter than working where there are 3 or 4 other agencies trying to find the same position. What tends to happen is you lose a little bit of interest in it, because every time you put a candidate for, I've already seen him, whatever. So realistically, try and work with one headhunter. If you're not happy after a period of time with what they're doing, let them know, feed it back to them. I'm not happy with what you're doing, Stuart. We'll call it a line. We'll put a line on the table. Thank you very much for your work. I'm going to move on. That's the best way of approaching it. I'm not going to be offended by it. Just, it's better. We're better off knowing. Where we got to? Right. Okay. The other thing is, what I just kind of linked to what I just said is try and have a regular review with the headhunter. Where have you got to, Stuart? What's going on? I think it's great if you can get a two-way conversation going, regular thing, maybe a Friday catch-up. Friday's usually a good day for this type of thing, when you've cleared the decks of all your other stuff for the week and you're trying to just tick a few boxes down. Quick Teams call, quick phone call, quick email even, where you up to, what you're doing, how are you doing on this hunt? Not finding anybody, but I've got them doing X, Y, and Z now. Okay, so when when you get CVs through, it's a whole different ball game about interviewing people, and we're not going to get into that now. But when you've interviewed the person, you need to give feedback to the headhunter. So if it's me and I've missed the target somewhat, this person isn't really what I'm after, Stuart. I thought that's what I wanted, but having interviewed this person, I actually sure that's what we really wanted. So, if we get the feedback, we can go back around the loop, and it's no problem. We're better off going back around the loop and exactly pinning down what the new requirement be, or I've seen something in somebody that you necessarily haven't seen. And, that happens all the time. A great thing to do. Why not? Get the headhunter involved in usually it will be a Teams meeting first. Get the headhunter involved in the first Teams meeting. Let them sit in on the meeting. And then if it was me, I will ask some questions. If a certain thing hasn't been asked, I can then sit back, watch how the interview is going, and tip in with a couple of things, key questions that I think might be relevant, or it might be all going fine and dandy, and then everything's okay. So ask the headhunter to be involved in the interview. That's the power of Microsoft Teams. You can get as many people in as you want, but I wouldn't suggest having loads. I would try and keep it down to 2 people or 1 person, even within your business, probably 2, and maybe the headhunter, because you get more than that, it gets a bit oppressive. And the other thing is, try to invest some time into this search for this person. It's quite important, really. Try and invest some time. And the last thing potentially is absolutely no magic wand. So no magic wand. It does take time to find people who might be the perfect person to meet this perfect avatar. They're not lining up. They're not lining up on down the street there to be recruited. As I say, they are more than likely passive. They have to go through the sales pitch. They might not at that particular moment. They might not want to move. So there we go. There are some things about headhunting that are differentiated from recruitment. We do both at People and Process Solutions. If you wanted to talk about any positions that you had that may need headhunting or recruiting, but I'm talking about headhunting at this particular moment, please contact me in confidence. My name's Stuart. I'm the Managing Director of People and Process Solutions. Send an email to contact@pandpsi.com and I will gladly get back to you and chat anything through. Whether it goes anywhere or not, it does not matter. It's like, as a recruitment consultant, we're not high sell. We're not a heavy sell company at all. It's literally, if it suits you, that's great. If you want to just discuss something, that's great too. If something comes of it, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, never mind. We've had a chat, haven't we? And that's important, to actually talk to people and get to know people. So there we go. I hope your headhunting or your recruiting goes well, regardless of which company that you take and use. And wish you just good luck. So bye for now.